Here we go. Fuck yeah, baby! Go! There he goes. There he goes. Shit, 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 shit. Ha ha! Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Gran Turismo race recap. Here we are taking a look today, guys, at round 3 of the Manufacturers Cup. And for this one, I kind of wanted to try a little bit of a different style of video. I know I usually kind of like show the whole race, and I feel like that's a little boring, as we're going to make a move right here on the first corner of the race, going to pick up position. I'll explain to you guys, too, how we ended up in the back of the pack here for this race. It was really ridiculous. But yeah, like I said, I kind of want to try a new style of video, just kind of show you guys the highlights of the race a little bit. We'll have a little bit more fun with it. I think I can make the videos a little shorter. As Gatillo here, too, I'm pretty sure he's on the wrong tires. I think he's got the hards on. And I'm pretty sure we're about to watch him spin out here. Yeah, there he goes. Boom! Right into the wall. He's going to leave the race shortly after this, too. But yeah, guys, it was a crazy race. Started in the back. Mixed conditions, went from wet to dry, back to wet. And believe it or not, we ended up in a P5. It was really unbelievable and a really crazy race. And I guess I'll explain to you guys how we ended up in the very back for this one. Picking it up here about a lap later on the hood cam, I actually started thinking about it. There's really nothing for me to explain to you guys about how we ended up in the back. It was really simple. We were just having technical difficulties with the wheel and our pedals. Flavino almost taking a tumble there. Yeah, guys, this was a really dangerous race, dude. Seriously, every corner you had to be very careful. But yeah, we came out and tried to qualify. I could tell right away that something was not right. The car just did not want to go. Damn, look at Flavino just all over the track here. There's barely keeping it together, but good on you, dude. Those are some good saves. But yeah, we were getting about 50% throttle, 50% braking. I tried everything that I could think of to try to fix it. I tried to unplug it in multiple spots. I tried to smash it up against the wall, and none of it was working. So we were not able to qualify, as we are going to make this pass on Flavino. But now he was just getting a little too squirrely for my taste there. We had to get past him. But yeah, had to start from the back. So here at lap 2 in a P10. P10 was my goal for this race. If we could somehow get 4 or 5 positions in the rain, which I'm not comfortable driving in, that was going to be a victory for me. I don't know what it is about the rain. I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing out there when it's raining. Ooh, Sanchez too, man, barely keeping it together. And I do know that Gran Turismo did recently change the physics of driving in the rain, so I do feel like it's a little bit more forgiving. Now Flavino is going to try to poke his nose back in here, try to get his spot back, but we're going to put the good defense on. And again, dude, Sanchez just barely hanging on, dude. Everyone barely keeping it together. But what was I saying? Yeah, so they did change the physics. I do feel like it is a little bit more forgiving, but still, you have to be very careful as Sanchez, he's about to pick up a penalty. I feel like he should have got more than a half a second. It's a pretty big track cut in my opinion. But he is going to pick up the half-second penalty here, and we got great momentum on him. Got a great run, and we're going to be able to pass him no problem. And it will be it'll be a little while until we catch up to the guys in front a little bit. And yeah, like I said, dude, we still got a little bit of work to do. And I guess 1 lap is quite a little while to me. I don't know why I thought it took me way longer to catch up to these guys, but it didn't. It was the very next lap, lap 4, we were able to catch up to this group of 3 cars here as P6 is going to go off track. Super lucky he didn't spin out, and also super lucky he didn't pick up a penalty there too, which I thought he should have got, as I don't know if you guys could see it, but looks like the dry line is starting to form a little bit. And I think what happens here is I think Chamo bites a little bit too much of that wet on the right, and it wants to just keep pulling you into the wet a little more. He just left way too much space there, and I was able to make a nice easy pass on him. I didn't think that was going to work at all. And actually, a couple laps later, I end up making the same exact move on P6. Now, granted, his is definitely a little bit bigger of a mistake. He goes a little bit more off track. Again, super lucky he didn't wreck there. But, again, able to make a nice, easy move into a P6 there. And, guys, I don't know what it was. That must have been the spot of this race, because you're not going to believe this, but a couple laps later, I end up doing the same exact thing. It's so weird. It's like almost happened 3 times. Again, super lucky that my race wasn't over there because it very easily could have been. I was just happy we survived, and now it's getting to the point where we're just about to pit in a couple laps. We're about to enter the dry portion of the race. Coming out of the pits in lap 10, we are now entering what I would personally consider to be probably the most dangerous part of a race like this, and that's when you have the racing slick tires on, but the track is still considerably wet. You guys can see still a lot of spray popping up from the tires. P6 there getting a little loose, and all of us just have to be super duper careful, because even if you catch just the slightest little bit of this wet patch, more than likely you are probably going to spin. Your race is over. You're probably going to end up in the wall. And even if you don't end up in the wall, it's going to be very hard to get back on the dry line. As P5 and 6 now, a little battle brewing here, both of them driving in the wet. And now I'm creeping up too. What am I going to do? I see that space open up. I got to take it, man. Are we even racing? But just trying to be super conscious of the curbs here. The curbs are still going to be super wet. It's just really important that you stick on this dry line. That is, every lap is getting a little bit bigger, but right now, maybe a car and a half length width, I suppose. As we're going to get some yellow flags here in a second too, but not really sure what happened there. I wasn't really able to see any sort of incident. It was probably a little false alarm or something. Somebody had a little slip. But you guys are going to see in a second something that is not a false alarm. You guys are going to see just how dangerous it does get if you bite the wet. And now we got P5 going off track a little bit and almost into us too. And believe it or not, that was almost expertly saved, I think. That was the best case scenario for him, because that could have been absolutely terrible. But look at this now. Look at us in a P5, about a third through the race. And the track is getting drier. We're going to take advantage of that in the Supra. Yeah, starting from the back, and now we're in P5. We just kept our head down and stayed a little disciplined, you know, tried not to make any mistakes, and here we are now. Unbelievable. Jumping ahead a decent chunk now, the dry portion of this race ended up being extremely lonely for us. Completely just racing by ourselves and trying to make up as much ground as we could. And like I said earlier, we were going to try to take advantage of this dry weather. And look at how much more power we have in this Supra as compared to this 4C. This Paya stands absolutely zero chance against our dominant machinery, and as long as the track stays dry, we're going to be chilling in this thing. We're going to be having a good race. And look at this in a P4 now. Again, my mind was blown, and at this point I really started thinking, man, what would have happened if we actually would have qualified? As we could see, P3 is not too far ahead of us, so I think we would have been in the contention for something really, really cool, but unfortunately it didn't happen. And as you guys are going to see, we were able to hold off Payas for a couple more laps, but once the rain really started coming down a little bit, the flaws in the Supra started to show, and this 4C is just really an incredible car in the wet. As we're about to start lap 22 here, we're going to try to defend this position, but you're going to see this is like my last ditch final stand type of effort here, but we kind of muck the corner up a little bit. And like I said, this 4C just completely dominant to us in the wet, and he's going to pull away. Really tried to do my best to keep up with him, but there was not much that I could do. Yeah, it was going to be raining for the rest of the race, and maybe right here, if he would have got the penalty that I think he deserved, maybe we would have had a shot at something. But he got lucky. Stewards didn't give it to him. And yeah, that was all we had to do now, was survive until the end. And we did, in fact, survive. We ended this race in a P5, which really, all things considering, is truly incredible. We were not able to qualify. We started from the very back, and it just goes to show that if you keep your head down, if you keep going, try to stay consistent, sometimes good things happen to you. For the rest of the race, we did end up picking up a couple half-second penalties. You know, it was just getting really wet out there, missing our braking markers, and by this point too, we'd been racing for like 45 minutes, an hour, so my brain was definitely fried, especially with the headset on for that long. But yeah, guys, it was a great race. I couldn't have asked for anything better, really. And yeah, thank you everybody who was there, who dropped by for the stream. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you're new and you're watching this video, come drop by in the streams. I think it's way cooler to watch this stuff in the VR perspective. I feel like it's way more intense. So yeah, come drop by, and yeah, thank you guys for watching this. Again, thank you guys for being there during the race. Hopefully we'll be there again on the next one at Interlagos. I hope to catch you guys there. And until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I love you all. Catch you on the next one. Stoosman out.